presentation. Now I'm very happy to introduce two professors of Bologna University. They teach at DAMS, at the Department of Arts, and they are also two award winner movie directors, and they are also the authors of the documentary God Save the Green that was released some years ago about sustainable community experience of human agriculture from all over the world. And then I'll leave the stage to Alessandro Rossi and Michele Mellara.
Thank you to everybody, and thank you to Francesco Orsini for inviting us here. And we are two filmmakers. We have been working together for almost 20 years, making principally documentaries, but not only. And as you can see, you won't see any images in our speech. Why? Because you are at the early stage of the production of a short, and before thinking about images, you have to think about something else, ideas. What kind of story should I tell in order to catch the public attention, to catch the interest of my viewers? We are here just to give you some piece of advices in order to set up your story and to shoot it in a better way. In order to do that, I give the microphone to Alessandro, just to give you a brief idea about what you should do.
Can you hear? Because it's pretty noisy, so I hope everything can get what I try to say. So I think you will have to do a short video for about 3 minutes long in order to present your project. So a few tips about this. Keep in mind that you don't have to tell all the project inside the video. You will have a lot of other materials to present your project. I mean scripts and other things. So decide what are the most important things that you want to tell to the audience, and put them underlined in your project and try to find the better way to express it with images. Images means your face, probably. Maybe can be pictures, still pictures of the places, still pictures of something that is similar to your idea. It can be graphics or drawings. If there is somebody between you that can draw, drawing is a good way to tell an horticulture project. And so there is a lot of pictures that you can grab from the web, if you are able to find the good ones. And you can work, I would say, as if you are a kid and you are doing a collage of your idea. So the most important thing is the idea, as Michele said, and then there is the collage. So taking all images that are useful for you. Another very important thing is that you are going to do an audiovisual stuff, an audiovisual short. So the first word is audio, and the second one is visual. If you speak, or if you use music, if you use sound, they are very helpful, of course, but we have to hear them. So give a lot of attention to the sound of your short movie. Okay? That is very important. No, these are audio and visual. So you said, I have to go. Say something.
Okay, now we have to rewind it. Going back to the first step. Okay, you have an idea. What are you supposed to do? You put on paper. And as you are working together with other people, this idea has to work for all of you. It's very important to read aloud it, just to check it out, if it works or if it doesn't. be quite straight about that. I mean, don't be like I have a great idea. It's on my mind. It should work. Okay, now I know what I'm gonna do. No, it doesn't work like that. You put on paper, you read it loudly together with the other people, and you verify if it does make sense or if it doesn't. This is the first step. When you have done it, you go on the second step. How could I translate my own idea into a short of 3 minutes long? A kind of documentary or spot or whatever you can call it? Okay, how could I do it? Alessandro gave you some ideas about that. You don't have to do everything on your own. There is web, archives, materials, there are stills done by somebody else. I mean, there is something that can be shot by yourself. If you do that, set your camera set your camera and keep it as you set it from the beginning to the end of your process. You can shoot a part of the material or the entire video, but you can decide to combine shooting material with archive material, with graphics, with stills, pictures, and whatever you need in order to tell your story. Okay? When you have collected all this material, that means that you need, if you want to shoot something, if you need to write down a shooting list of what you need to shoot. For example, let's make an example. I want to make a short of this meeting, and how can I do it? I can shoot you while you are watching us. I can make an interview to Francesco Orsini, the chief of the meeting, to other PhD students and professor and whatever. I can decide to organize some footage material of the previous meeting that has been done before and put them together. It's only an example. If you have to tell your story, I was saying, and you have to shoot something, make a shooting list and make a production plan. How much time do you have to dedicate to this shooting list in order to translate it from images to reality? 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, okay? When you have done it, there is the last step, the editing process. Roughly speaking, in England, they say that if you shoot 1 day, you have to edit it at least 3 days long, 1 to 3. I mean, it's only just to give you a rough idea about the production schedule. If you think to shoot 1 day, keep in mind that the editing will take much longer than 1 day, at least 2, 3, okay? And you organize your rough cut. What rough cut is you put all your material together in a tail line, and it has to make sense in terms of storytelling, and you need to have a beginning, a middle, and the end of your story, and whatever it needs in order to be appealing to your viewers. Okay, you do your rough cut, and at the end you need to focus your attention on the last step of the post-production period. That is, as Alessandro was saying before, keep your attention eye on sound. That means that you need to mix the sound that you have in your video. Voiceover, speaking, interviews, whatever that you need to put together and to has to be mixed together in order to have the same level, no? This is the first thing. And the second is color correction. When you have done your cut and you're happy with your story and it works and you have seen it many times together with your colleagues, you go for the final step. Color correction, mix color correction, and the title and the ending credits. Okay? Is it clear? Q&A. Have you got any questions?
For the software, you have to search for open source software, or maybe some editing software that you have to pay, but as a, how do you say, the trial version that you can use. And probably depends. I'm not so sure about that. There used to be a software called iMovie for Mac that used to edit the video. There is also something for sure on Windows. And maybe there is also something in terms of working with mobile phones. Probably some software can edit in a very simple way your images. Okay? And if you use a camera, when I speak of sound, for example, this sound is not good because it's too far. It has a microphone. I have to be like here. Because this microphone, if I'm here, it's too far from them. And I'm telling this because we are going to watch your movie and I want to hear them. Otherwise, I go forward if I don't hear, okay? If you have maybe somewhere or some use it, an external microphone is very helpful on this kind of camera, so you can reach the people that, the person that is speaking, if you use something speaking, okay? No question.
The last thing, keep in mind that every videos has to have his own style. What does it mean? That I'm talking about visual style, narrative style, okay? If you start on one way, keep the way that way all the way long, from the beginning to the end. Let's make an example. He's making some footage from us, no? He's shooting us, and on a tripod. If he wants to make another shooting similar to this one with handheld stuff, the two shots won't cut together in a good way. I don't know if I made myself simple. That means that if you are doing some shooting on the tripod, maybe it's better if you keep using the tripod all the way long for your own production. Okay, and this is sure, and it's the same for narrative and interviews and sound and archive material. I mean, if you follow one path, stick on this path. Don't move around. Okay. Cosa?
I think what we do now is just we see one of the videos that were presented last year for the first stage, and then we can comment it. Okay, is it ready? Yeah.
Okay. As you have seen, for example, this video has used, let's say, a very simple kind of stop motion style. Okay, stop motion. It's quite using graphic and animation. What does it mean? That when you have the camera on the top of the note, they shot it, and the people put sticks, wrote down keywords, and in the editing room, the editor cut off all the ants people putting stuff on the table and writing down keywords on the paper. And the stop motion style goes all the way through the video, and it gives a sense of intimacy to the audience, because the audience can recognize the idea from the beginning of the video, and it goes on with the same idea until the end of the video. In fact, the last part of the video, where you can see people in front of the lift, they are treated in the same way as the beginning of the video, with the stop motion of video, okay? This is a matter of style. The other thing is a matter of narrative tale. As Alessandro said at the beginning, try to keep your story simple. I mean, try to keep it simple doesn't mean to be superficial. It means to find the right way to tell your story in a catchy way for the viewers. They have organized some keywords of the project, and on these keywords they elaborated a narrative tale. Okay? The sound doesn't work very well. Maybe it's here.
Yeah, keep it simple, and you get one thing, last thing, then I think you have to leave. To more notice, they were very clear in organizing the space, because everything you have on the table is something that comes from a thought. They decided the plant, what kind of table, a wood table, and so on. So everything reminds you of the green and of the recycled circle. So everything is strict to the concept. And then the crew, it's important. You get the sense of the crew, so that you, at the end of the movie, you have the idea of a group working together. And this is important in this kind of projects.
And remind me the last thing, working together in order to make a video doesn't mean that everybody has to do the same thing. I mean, you can share your responsibility, taking into consideration the idea of doing something different, each one of your group. For example, someone could take care about the editing, someone else could take care about camera, someone else could take care about sound, and it's the same for writing, directing, production, organization, and sharing the knowledge and the information, but being responsible in your own role, okay? It's much easier if you work in this way, unless doing everything the same thing. I think we have done. If you are happy, we are happy.
Thank you. Thank you, Alessandro. Thank you.